Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Grammys. The Grammys have been nothing but controversial the past couple years. The people on the board never seem to get the picks right. Sometimes they do, but it's once every few years, and it seems like they just do this to stir up controversy, which in turn gets a bunch of YouTube channels like me to actually talk about the Grammys, and sometimes I feel like they get their picks wrong on purpose just to create buzz. And I know a lot of YouTubers like to make their picks and predictions for the Grammys, but today I want to do something a little bit different. Instead of looking at the actual 2023 Grammy nominations, I am actually going to go through my own and pick my own Grammy winners. I made a list of nominees for each category. Now, I didn't do every category in the Grammys because some of them I just don't have any knowledge of, and it would be stupid for me to delve into that. But I did the basic ones like Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Rap Album of the Year, etc. For most of them, I have like 5 nominees, some of them less because I'm not as familiar with that genre, but we're just going to delve in. I'm going to show you this and hopefully bring light to some new talent that you would enjoy. So starting with Record of the Year, I skipped out on Song of the Year because I feel like Record of the Year is sort of the same thing, but my 5 nominees for this are Father Time by Kendrick Lamar, Walk In by Denzel Curry, Homemaker by Sudan Archives, Out of Time by The Weeknd, and Chaos Space Marine by Black Country New Road. These 5 songs made it because I feel like they are the most well-produced songs that have been released this year. I think they all make a point in having their message relayed. I think all the performances are great. And within each album that these come from, I feel they're the best song from their respected albums. But for me, since this is Record of the Year and not necessarily song or confined to one genre, I picked Homemaker by Sudan Archives. I think as a song, it's structured better than all the other ones. The first time I heard it, I had no idea where it was going, but then the build-up brings it into this amazing R&B track, and I thought it was going to be like an African type song in the beginning, or like a Middle Eastern type song because of the production, but I think Sudan Archives and the production team killed it on this one, so Homemaker is my Record of the Year. Next, we got Album of the Year, and with another 5 contenders, we have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick, we have Chaos Now by Gene Dawson, we have Dawn FM by The Weeknd, Once Twice Melody by Beach House, and Ants From Up There by Black Country New Road. Out of these 5, my personal favorite is Chaos Now, so that's what I went with, but I think all of these records are great. Once Twice Melody did grow off of me a little bit, but I think that's just because of recency bias. Ants From Up There is great. However, I do feel like some of the songs stretch a little bit. I know a lot of people like that structure with that album, but that's the reason this didn't win. Dawn FM's just great. I have nothing really negative to say about that. And then Mr. Morale is just an amazing storytelling album. The reason I didn't pick it to win this is because it doesn't have the replayability of the other albums on here, but as a story, it's a great record. So I went with Chaos Now because I feel like out of these 5 albums, it's easy to listen to all the way through, and I think it's an extremely creative record. So yeah, Album of the Year, Chaos Now. For Best New Artist, it was difficult to pick artists that actually came out in 2022, but I did look at the Grammy nominations, and they have artists like Omar Apollo on there who have been making music since like 2017. So that's kind of the rule I followed. I picked 5 artists that if they had anything made before 2017, they couldn't be on here. So all these artists came out in 2017 or later. So that includes Cheekface, Sudan Archives, Quarters of Change, Gaius Guvera, and Hatchie. And I actually went with Gaius Guvera on this, mostly because he was the newest artist out of these 5, but also his rapping ability is amazing. He has a fantastic flow. His production is very unique, and I think he's going to have a very bright future in hip-hop. So that's why I went with Gaius. I think he's the most innovative of these 5 artists. So yeah. Moving on, we got Best Pop Song. There were a lot of good pop songs this year, but here are the 5 that I picked. Disenchanted by Hatchie, 1036 by Biba Doobie, After the Earthquake by Always, Karma by Taylor Swift, and Perfected Steps by Tops. I think all these songs have very catchy elements. I think all of them are crafted in a good pop structure. They have everything that you want in a pop song. Good structure, good melody, good rhythm, good hooks. But the song I went with was Perfected Steps. And this is just because of all of the subtle switch ups in this song. Tops does a great job just making them so subtle but different enough to keep you invested in a 6.5 minute song. And it just flies by. It doesn't feel like 6.5 minutes, it feels like 3. So love that song. I've bumped that a lot this year. That's my pop song of the year. Alright, we have a few more categories. Next is Best Rock Song. Options are Kiwi by Quarters of Change, Circling the Drain by Microwave, Gotta Let It Go by Joyce Manor, Always Together With You by Spiritualized, and Ain't No Thief by Viagra Boys. All these songs are great, and they're actually all like completely different from each other. Ain't No Thief is a banger, like industrial rock song. Always Together With You is this beautiful shoegazy song. Gotta Let It Go is like a pop punk song. Circling the Drain is like an emo, like kind of horror-ish song. And then Kiwi is just a really nice lo-fi rock song. So I actually went with Circling the Drain on this, and I'm really excited to hear more from Microwave because I didn't discover them until this year. But I love the build-up into the hook on this song. It starts out kind of like a Modest Mouse song and just turns into like a My Chemical Romance type thing. So I think the production and the structure on that song is great. That's why I picked it for Best Rock Song. Next, we got Best Alternative Album. Now, this was hard to do because a lot of the music that I listen to can be labeled as alternative. So I kind of just picked the albums that I felt like were either unique or did well with genre bending. So the options I put was, again, Chaos Now by Gene Dawson, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quedeca, Bothered, Unbothered by J.E.R., my bad, and Everything Was Beautiful by Spiritualized. And for this, I went with I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quedeca. I think a lot of people that heard that record were completely blown away, not only because the production on it is amazing, but the growth from Quedeca on this album was also insane. I think it's just a really interesting project and probably the most like unique one I've heard this year. I don't really hear other people making music like this, so I love the concept of it. I thought the production was amazing and I thought it was really unique, so props to Quedeca for this album. Really enjoyed it, and it's best alternative album for me. Next we have Best Rap Song. There were a lot of them this year. It was a great year for hip-hop, but we got Walkin' by Denzel Curry, Father Time by Kendrick Lamar, Cody Blue 31 by Jid, Dark Hearted by Freddie Gibbs, and Rayman Legends by Gaius Guevara. I went with Father Time for this simply because lyrically I think it's the best song of the year. I love the message Kendrick is relaying, the beat is great, and Sampha has a fantastic hook. There's just nothing remotely bad about the song. I'm blown away every time I hear it, and it's super moving. For Best Rap Album, we have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, The Forever Story by Jid, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry, Cheat Codes by Black Thought and Danger Mouse, and Bring Me Back When the World is Cured by Sadistic. For this, I went with Melt My Eyes. I think it has the best production out of these records, and Denzel, easily lyrically his best project, and he just continues to improve. But honestly, guys, like, check all of these albums out. They're all incredible, and they're all completely different. All these artists are great at storytelling, and they have some great beats to rap over, so check out these rap albums in this category. So we got Best Rock Album, and at this point in the video, you've heard most of the artists and songs that I've included in these, so there's some repeats, but I have Cave World by Viagra Boys, Everything Was Beautiful by Spiritualized, 40 Ounces to Fresno by Joyce Manor, Out of Body by a band called Daisy. They're kind of like a emo, not emo, but like maybe like a pop punk version of Pavement, and I'm surprised they didn't get a lot of buzz this year because I think they're a really good band. But and also, I forgot the last one, Ants From Up There by Black Country New Road, which I actually picked to win this category. But yeah, sorry, I almost forgot to say that. But I do think that's the best rock album out of these. And yeah, if you haven't heard it, check it out. And finally, the last category, best pop album. We have 5 options. Once Twice Melody by Beach House, Beatopia by Beabadoobie, Giving the World Away by Hatchie, Blue Rev by Always, and Painless by Nilüfer Yanya. And I went with Giving the World Away by Hatchie. I was blown away by that record. If you like the 90s nostalgia sound, this is the record for you. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching this video. You guys can pick down in the comments out of my options what your winner would have been, or you can just give me your own nominees. I think that would be fun in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Good to be back on YouTube. I'll try to keep consistent with content. It's just really hard with such a busy schedule. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.